Hi, welcome to the Freeman Conversations. I'm Fred Langido, the news editor of the Freeman. Today is Saturday, December 15, 2018. Joining us today is the Governor of Ilocos Norte, Madam Imee Marcos. Welcome to the Freeman
Hi, thank you.
Conversations.
Yes.
Kumusta po? Bakit po kayo nandito sa Cebu ngayon?
Oh, I'm always around in Cebu. Ang dalas-dalas ko rito po balik-balik. Oo, nangangampanya, umiikot. I've been in Ilocos for 9 years, so I haven't gone around a lot. So, ngayon lang na babalik dito. It's fun. I mean, I saw Archie's an old friend. There are lots of old friends from Kabataang Barangay days. There are also a lot of family retainers, old friends of the family. Ang tagal-tagal ko na hindi nakikita. I'll be seeing si Nanito Durano later on. And of course, the Calderons in the south have been around for a long time. And of course, the old spokesman for legal of my dad, former Congressman Garcia. So it's quite interesting to see everyone still around. And the Gulyas, of course, the family retainers of old times.
That's interesting, ma'am, because yung mga pangalan na nabanggit ko ninyo, they don't belong to the same, political party. So how is that?
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, ang politika talaga medyo nakakasira ng pamilya, nakakasira ng pagkakaibigan. So we shouldn't allow it to do that. But old friends are old friends.
Okay, but did you get their, assurance and commitment for support?
Yeah, we're talking about it. So, alam niyo, napakagulo ng politika. At the end of the day, you just go to old friends and say hello to everyone. Konting kampanya, konting enjoy, konting lechon. Actually, maraming lechon.
Ma'am, siguro may mga, best practices na nagawa po ninyo sa Ilocos Norte na pwede pong i-share ninyo sa mga officials ng Cebu na pwedeng gawin dito.
I just came from a market actually. Ngayon lang, and I was looking at the cheapest rice available. There's 43 pesos yata, local, and sort of iffy quality. Pero sa amin, sa Ilocos, na ma-maintain namin na 27 pesos. Dahil ako mismo bumibili. This year, we've had really miserable weather. So, ang nangyari, 4 yung habagat, may super typhoon umpong that lashed Ilocos Norte for 17 hours, probably the longest typhoon ever. And tagal-tagal. So, lahat, wasak yung ani namin, 90% came down, and then Typhoon Rosita. So, the provincial government was compelled to step in and interfere. We had to intervene, and our action was to start buying rice at 25 pesos from traders, co-ops, farmers, and sell it at 27 pesos to the marginal communities. It can be done. The reason I know is that my dad, ginawa rin yan yung Kadiwa stores noon, na 8 pesos kada ganta. Wala nang ganta ngayon. Yung mga bagets, hindi na naaalala. Siyang salop yun ng kahoy. At walang timbang-timbang, walang daya. At ayan, medyo yung iba rito kala ko Facebook generation, pareho ko rin pala. So, eto nga, yung Kadiwa. And that concept, we're still doing Kadiwa in Ilocos Norte. And managed to sell at 27 pesos. So, at least nakakatulong yun because our farmers have had such a tough time.
Posible pa kayang gawin yan? On a nationwide scale po?
I don't see why not. That's what NFA is supposed to be doing, but they have a huge budget of 8 billion pesos. They don't seem to buy rice at normal price. Binibili nila 17 pesos at the time na 28 pesos ng bentahan. Wala namang magbebenta ng palugi. Kalukuhan mo yung NFA. Tinaasan daw 20 pesos. Pero that's still under commercial rate. So, wala namang magbebenta dyan. Gusto lang yata nila mag-import ng mag-import. Mas malaking kinikita sa import. Mahirap dyan. But now, we have the rice tariffication, which means that importation is open to everyone. Yun nga, sinasabi ko nga, yung NFA na yan, although tinatag ng tatay ko, dapat yata buwagin na at ibigay na lang sa farmers yung 8 billion na nakukuha nila dahil they don't own the bikutan anymore. Binenta ng previous administration. sa Ayala para sa condominium, wala na tayong tambakan, wala nang bagsakan ng bigas. Dati, everything from the south and the north would come through the expressway and get distributed from Bikutan to the 400 markets of Metro Manila. The idea was to put another Bikutan here in Cebu as well, another food terminal. There was supposed to be another operation to feed Metro Cebu. Hindi na nga natuloy, and NFA doesn't seem to be interested in accomplishing their charter.
Kung sakasakali po manalo kayo, Senador, makikita kaya natin na talagang matutuloy na mabubuwag yung NFA po.
Well, tignan natin. Unless there's another one that will perform its charter, I think walang tulong sa local farmers. Sa palagay ko, we have become so far behind. Dati, in the old days, ang Filipino farmer ang hinahangaan ng lahat. Yung International Rice Research Institute in Los Baños was the place where all the foreigners would come to learn how to plant rice and corn. And in 1978, we started exporting to the world. And now, sa kasamaang palad, naging importer naman tayo, and that's not only rice, that's not only corn, that's a lot of other crops also, vegetables, and even our mango is getting imperiled. Medyo problematic na siya at nagkakasakit ng sisid, hindi nagkakaroon ng tamang tulong. Nag-export pa rin kami sa Ilocos, mabuti lang at naagapan, pero dito sa Visayas problema talaga, laganap talaga yung curriculum na tinatawag na sakit.
What do you think is the problem, ma'am? Bakit hindi magawa ng national government yung nagawa ninyo sa Ilocos?
I think there's just lack of attention and gross neglect. Mahirap kasi ang agriculture napapansin lang pag tumataas ang presyo ng pagkaon.
Correct.
Pag mataas na yung presyo ng pagkain, papanik lahat. Everyone starts screaming and jumping up and down. The cost of rice is actually a small thing, but my father was more or less obsessed with it. It was my job to check every day. A 10-cent increase and he would panic. And the reason is simple, kasi ang pagkain, hindi natin masyadong iniisip kung mataas ang sweldo mo, kung kumikita ka naman ng maayos. Pero sa mahihirap, ang bigat niyan dahil 60% of your income goes to food. Much of it goes to rice. So any little change in price will be a great expense. The reality is the Filipino farmer, whether it's lube, sanyog, whether it's sugar, whether it's rice, has become hugely uncompetitive. Rice now costs 6 pesos per kilo to grow in Vietnam, 8 pesos in Thailand. Dito more than double, 12.50. That's what happened also sa sugar. And now, that's what's happening to copra. We keep saying na wala naman tayong magawa sa presyo pag international market. But meron tayong magagawa rito. Clearly, our farmers, they're not mechanized. Tagal na natin naririnig yung mechanization of agriculture. Wala naman nangyayari. And then all these issues of hybrid and inbred rice, all the problems that we have with the age of the farmers. Wala nang gustong mag-farmer eh.
Isa pa yung problema. Wala na.
No, 58 years old. Ang biro nga sa amin, inis na inis ako sa mga estudyante, naaway ko nga eh. Sabi ng mga bata, ay nako ma'am, hindi kami mag-aaral. Sabi ko, bakit? Ayaw ninyo ng agriculture and forestry. That's the specialty of the Ilocos Norte SUC. Ayaw daw nila. Eh sabi ko, bakit? Eh kasi pag ganyan, magiging agriculture and forestry. They don't see any future eh. They don't really see any future in any of these efforts. I don't blame them kasi talagang it's been so grossly neglected. In the Visayas, there's no major irrigation project, for instance, and in Luzon, they're the same old ones. Eh kung walang patubig, eh talagang walang mangyayari niya with this kind of weather that we're having.
Do you think it will help kung sakasakali na hindi na limitahan yung rice importation ng NFA?
Well, yes and no. Kasi for me, it's really an emergency action. To import is just emergency. Sooner or later, you have to become more food secure. And you have to make the local suppliers stronger. So it's not gonna make a difference. Baka patayin pa yung local farmer. Kasi pag import ng import, tuluyan mamamatay yung farmer natin, hindi na makabenta. Ito nga lang, itong second cropping, yung second harvest, hirap na hirap na. It's lisod. They always tell you, lisod talaga ang buhay nila. It's very hard. I've actually been recommending and calling on the DSWD to review the 4-piece program and allocate some for cash for work for the typhoon hit areas, the typhoon ravaged areas. Kailangan bigyan natin ng konting trabaho.
So paano gagawin yun? Instead na dole out, kailangan pagtrabahuan ng mga farmers? Or...
Well, essentially, di ba yung problema, we're always talking about minimum wage. There's minimum wage for urban sectors, largely addressing the building trades, the construction trades, parating para sa urban location. But in fact, the Constitution talks about a living wage, which means lahat ng Pilipino may karapatan sa maginhawa at disenteng pamumuhay. E paano naman yung farmer? Dapat bigyan din natin ng income, lalo na pag tinamaan ng bagyo, nagkaroon ng peste katulad ng mangga, or else nagkaroon ng katakot-takot na smuggling na wala naman nahuhuli o na-charge. Kaya I think it's really important that we start considering cash for work to be expanded. Because the 4-piece program has been going on for over 10 years, I believe now. Tagal na eh. And that's supposed to be pantawid. Eh, hayop naman sa pantawid, ang haba-haba na. Siguro, kausapin na natin, alamin na natin, sino ba talaga. Some of them are really, they're going to be really needy. The senior citizens, PWD, they really need an unconditional cash transfer, hindi nga conditional. On the other hand, yung malalakas naman ang katawan, at saka medyo may pinag-aralan, pagtrabahuin natin para kumita ng mas malaki.
Ang problema, medyo na politicized, would you agree? Na yung programa na maganda, sana, pero na politicize.
Sa amin kasi, sa Ilocos, and I've talked to some of the Cebuanos, pareho kasi, ang Ilocano at Cebuano, hindi naman nag-iiba masyado. Ang sabi nga ng mga waray-waray, ang mga Cebuano daw, Ilocano din, kasing kuripot din, kasing sipag din. Pero sa akin, the big distinction between Ilocanos and Cebuanos is you have the unusual entrepreneurial capacity. I'm saying unusual kasi palagay ko talagang business-minded sa lahat ng Pilipino ay kayo dito sa Cebu. Very, very good at wealth creation. And I think that's an area that needs to be even further assisted. Yun, kailangan talaga tulungan. At tignan kung paano yung 4-piece na yan. Yung ibang politicians, di ba, nagre-reklamo, nagiging dependent na.
Yeah.
At ayaw nila yun. Ako naman, maganda talaga yung 4-piece program, but let's realize that in many cases, it's supposed to address emergency situation. Hindi yung forever and ever. And sooner or later, they acquire skills, they acquire land, they acquire property, and they should start building up a business also in good Cebuano fashion.
Balikan ko lang yung importation po. Kasi nangyayari ngayon, may proposals, yung ginagawa nila na rice, yung proposal na rice tarification po. May mga iba na nagsasabi, hindi kaya tataas ang presyo kung lalagyan natin ng yung tariff yung rice.
Kahit i-tariff pa yan, talaga, hindi naman tataas ang presyo sa palagay ko, hindi naman problema yung taas ng presyo. Ang problema, ang bagsak ng bili para sa lokal. Kasi, yun nga, 6 pesos nga sa Vietnam. Pag nag-import ka sa Vietnam, 6 pesos lang ang kanilang break-even. Eh tayo, 12.50. Kahit i-tariff mo pa yan, talagang hindi hahabol sa 12.50 na lokal. Ang problema, hindi na bibilhin yung lokal. Kawawa naman yung local farmer. That's really the problem. I don't think that there will be a rise in prices. Actually, you can dive the prices nga, di ba?
Okay.
Pero ang problema dyan is, paano naman yung local? Hindi mo tinulungan, tapos tumaas ang presyo dahil naging uncompetitive, hindi mo nabibilhan kasi ang mahal.
But do you think it's about time to subsidize the farmers?
I'm always nervous about subsidies at alam natin na bawal na ngayon, free trade na ngayon. So, between the WTO, the GATT Accords, parang malabo na yan. Pero ang dapat gawin, pagtibayan yung farmers. Subsidize, well, I think those days are over for price control. But I think I would actually consider maybe subsidies in other areas like gasolina. Um, the reason is before we used to have an oil price stabilization fund and the
Yeah.
PNOC, the Philippine National Oil
Oil
Corporation.
Corporation.
Pero binenta na eh. Dahil ang dati kasi ang nangyayari, katulad ngayon, no? Every week yata, nagbabago yung presyo ng gasolina. I can't even follow it anymore. Kakahilo na. So, what they used to do is have oil supply, some buffer stock, and then when the price would go really high, yung PNOC o PSF, ibabagsak yung presyo, tapos i-release sa marketplace to bring the price right down. Eh, ngayon, we don't have that. So, we're really victims to the going up and down. So, yung ating mga habal-habal, mga jeep, mga PUV, eh paano yan? May mga utang yan. Tapos hindi pa kikita kasi tumaas na yung presyo. Pipilitin pa ng LTFRB na ibagsak na naman yung presyo, di ba? Yung 9 pesos, ibabagsak na naman. Eh paano naman yung mga yan kikita? Alam niyo, sa amin, sa Ilocos, hindi kami nagpa-price support. Ang ginawa ko na lang, pinakasimple na maisip ko, kasi wala nang maraming pera, katulad nga ng OPSF during my dad's time. There was quite a bit of funding. Sa amin, ang ginagawa namin, very simple. Nagbibigay ako ng mga vouchers sa aming mga habal-habal. I distribute these vouchers so that they can get gasoline at the wholesale rate of the provincial government. So that's 6 pesos less kada litro. So whatever the price is, I don't know, 50, now it's lower again, or 60. Whatever the price is, they get the discount because instead of paying full retail cost, ang binabayaran lang nila yung wholesale ng probinsya. Kahit pa paano makakatulong ka, kailangan maghanap ng solusyon eh. Kasi galing ako sa local, hindi galing sa national. Hindi pwede magdebate sa local, kailangan mag-responde ka kagad.
Paano kaya mo madadala yan sa Senado po, ma'am? Yung mga programas na na-apply din nyo sa Ilocos?
Well, I think there are many things that I couldn't do sa local na pwede sa national. For example, a review of the VAT. Yung VAT that I've been calling for suspension for a long time now. Taas kasi yun eh. Yung VAT 12%. Ang bigat naman ng 12% VAT. Pag nagtawag ka sa merkado, happy ka na sa 5-10% discount. 12%, ang bigat talaga on everything you buy, on all the services that you engage. Parating may 12%, it's really heavy. So, I think we should have a look at it and hopefully think about suspending it even for food items and for gasoline, basic commodities man lang. Because it's just too heavy. And I think we can look at a whole other set of things also. The issues of importing ethanol. Kasi kulang na kulang yung ethanol, ihalo natin sa gasolina to bring the price down also. And that's being done in Europe, in the US, and elsewhere. I think it's about time we do that. But I understand there's a very heavy local lobby.
Yeah.
So we're inflicted with extremely high prices.
Problema kasi ngayon, by next year, ipapatupad din naman yung yung second tranche
Yung
na trade.
excise taxes.
Excise tax.
Hindi pa yung second tranche, it's the excise taxes tuloy-tuloy. Kasi yung excise taxes daw, bumagsak na yung world price eh. Pag bumagsak ng $80 per barrel, sabi sa batas, sa train, yun na naman, excise tax na naman. Eh, ang problema, talagang tataas at tataas ang ating gasolina niya. Talagang no choice. Hindi ko naman sinisisi ang train. I think the train just been really unlucky. Pataas na talaga yung presyo. Ang totoo. Tapos sinabayan pa ng train. Eh, siyempre, dagdag taas na naman yung problema talaga. I think there are many things that need to be discussed. There's discussion now, of course, about the minimum wage, diba? That there shouldn't be a regional or national wage board anymore. And just have a universal setting. I don't really know, should we compare Cebu prices to Manila prices? Life seems to be still cheaper here in Cebu and not comparable to Manila. But certainly, everybody needs a wage increase at this point, given the prices we're undergoing.
So, do we expect na siguro gagawa kayo ng paraan para na mawala yung train next?
I think yung train is necessary because they have to raise funds for the build project. Here in Cebu, it's very, very obvious that you need the build project. Sa traffic na lang, talagang kulang na kulang ang kalye. Dadalawa lang ang tulay. Yung original na plano ng tatay ko, 6 ang tulay na yan eh. Eh hanggang hindi pa nagagawa, di ba? Dadalawa pa lang. And the Cordoba should follow at some point. But I'm sure it will be contested din.
Yeah.
So matagal din yan. Pero ang talagang plano dyan, sunod-sunod yung tulay para ma-decongest at ilabas yung syudad. So that was really the original old plan and di pa natutupad. We're really about 35 years behind on infra. Also, wala pang LRT, di ba? Yung LRT1, yung MRT1 ng mami ko, ang luma-luma na yun, that's 1980s. Hindi na nasundan sa Cebu. Eh, bakit ganun? Pero tagal pa nun. Up to now, we're still hearing big debates about the BRT, LRT. Ang sa akin, I don't really understand why it's taken so long. It's just so bad. Really, at the end of the day, we don't have enough roads. There's no public transport. And there's been no effort to get cars off the street, no?
Yeah.
Tatatlo lang naman yan, wala namang, it's not rocket science. Sana yung mga lumang sasakyan, syempre nagre-react lahat ng tricycle natin, lahat ng bus. Yung sobrang luma na at hindi na roadworthy, dapat talaga alisin na sa kalsada yan. Hindi na po pwede yan.
So you're pro modernization?
But the modernization naman that they're doing is not fair also. Kasi saan naman kukuha ng puhunan yung ating mga habal-habal, tricycle and jeep? If you're going to put a modernization program, dapat kasama niyan, trade-in and very soft financing. Diba? Iti-trade in mo yung luma at saka may soft financing. Saan naman sila kukuha niya? Di na nga kumikita sa boundary ang mga yan. Dahil eto nga, pataas pababa yung gasolina. Hindi naman pwede yung modernization, i-announce lang, i-legislate. Hindi naman pwede gano'n. Kailangan, may kasama yan.
Meron ka namang loan facility yung government through land. Bakit dyan eh?
Nako, ang dami na naman dokumento niyan. Dapat specific doon sa tricycle. Specific, ibig sabihin, may value yung luma, i-trade in mo, at the same time, may top-up na soft loan. Dapat mas practical. Ewan ko kasi matagal na kami I've been 9 years in the local area. Makita mo naman yun talagang problematic and it's really, really hard to make a living. And they're carrying loans also. So we have to be a little bit more considerate and not just make these big moves without preparing very carefully.
Your comment on the recent Supreme Court ruling na nag-ban ng operation ng angkas po?
Oh yes. I think we're trying to get up to date on that, but yun nga, marami sa amin talaga abalang-abala dyan because there are areas na wala namang ibang makukuhang sasakyan kundi habal-habal. Paano mo namang ipagbabawal yan? Medyo mabigat. So, I haven't read the ruling in detail, but I am hopeful that we can do something about it. After all, places like Indonesia, Myanmar, India continue to recognize and uphold what we know as habal-habal. Kasi nga, wala namang alternative means of transport. Until such time, mas maayos yung public transport mo. Ang hirap naman i-ban lahat. Medyo trigger-happy naman yata tayo sa ganyan. Cebu is a great driver of growth here in the Visayas and in the South. And really, things like energy, water, public transport are hugely detrimental to any investor. Kapag hindi competitive, ang galing-galing ng Cebuano, the talent pool is here, the entrepreneurial spirit is here, pero kulang yung infrastructure, kulang talaga yung public transport. Yun ang talagang hadlang sa ating progreso. And I think, the Visayas as a whole, we always talk about it in Leyte, perhaps because we're pinakakulela talagang Region 8. We're always talking about Region 6, Region 7, Region 8. And the question arises, wherefore Visayas? Luzon is already there. Dambuhalang Luzon, laki-laki, gigante. It takes up most of our budget. It takes up and generates most of our income as a country. President Duterte is really pushing all the foreign direct investment to Mindanao. So we see the highest rates of growth in Mindanao, and Davao is a burgeoning metropolis. And the population in Mindanao has now exceeded the Visayas probably soon by leaps and bounds. Pero ngayon, mas malaki na silang botante kesa sa Visayas. Ang nangyayari, anong gagawin sa Visayas? There are already geographical constraints kasi isla-isla, wala naman isang malaki. So ano yung direksyon natin? Kailangan isipin natin. One clear area where Cebu is the leader is tourism. Already that's very clear. Cebu is really the leader, and Boracay's bitter lessons are lessons we should learn, not only in Boracay or Cebu, but throughout the Visayas. Pwede siyang maging tourism leader talaga eh. Kasi hindi naman kaya ng Luzon, and then hindi rin kaya ng Mindanao dahil sa peace and order issues. The Visayas needs to reinvent itself with a new vision para hindi naman mahuli. So, yun nga, lagi na hindi ni-discuss, Covadis Visayas. Wala na yung asukal, wala na yung nyog at lubi, hindi na siya agricultural. And then Cebu has brought the example of creativity, of manufacturing and design leader sa Cebu. So, I mean, I think we look to the Cebu example for guideposts towards a new Visayas. Ano man yun? We need a new vision.
What do you think? Will the federal system of government fill in the gap?
The federal system right now doesn't mean anything to us. Wala pang mukha eh.
Yeah.
It's all theory, it's all legal philosophy. Hindi naman natin alam kung saan patungo. Sa lokal, nininervous kami. We are all with President Duterte in saying there should be stronger, more responsive local governments. Pero yung mga plano parang magulo. Dahil yung iba, sabi ika-cluster daw. So ika-cluster ang Cebu together with Region 6. Parang papayag ba maging Bacolod, maging Iloilo. Ang gulo eh, dahil maski yung salita, hindi pareho. Tapos ika-cluster, parang magkakaroon pa ng additional layer. Instead of being more responsive and having bigger budget, mababawasan pa yan. Parang ang gulo. Tapos yung mga issues of law and order, nagkakagulo na nga sa PDEA at police dito. Dadagdagan mo pa ng kanya-kanyang turuan na naman yan. Dahil sasabihin na, hindi naman akong boss niyan eh. Galing sa Manila naman yung order. It's magulo. And then, finally, of course, there's the equalization process. There is Cebu, which is huge and very wealthy, and then there's Siquijor. How do you compare? You're gonna lump them together with Samar. How do you lump Bacolod with Samar? There's no basis for comparison. Are the bigger, more progressive, wealthier cities like Cebu, Bacolod, Iloilo going to donate to Samar, to Siquijor, to Biliran? Parang malabo yata yun. Kasi these smaller island provinces cannot subsist on their own collection.
So, what do you think? Which is better? Stay in the present system or?
I think there's a real room for discussion, and we need to debate it. Pakagay ko itong mga paspasan na, well, with all due respect sa Congress, yung mga paspasan na yan, pakagay ko hindi naman matutuloy yan kasi pagdating sa Senate yan, hindi mapapayag.
So, yung tatanong ko, yung version
So,
ng
ang
House.
akin, I haven't seen the version of the House because it went through so many changes, I sort of gave up in the middle. So, palagay ko naman, di naman lulusot dyan sa Senate at papaubayan ng Senate. I think there's a great deal of room for discussion. Alam mo, among everyone, okay naman yung bagong yung constitution natin, pero in many cases, they were reactions to my father's administration. So wag tayong ganon. Yung unang constitution natin, ginaya natin, lock, stock, and barrel yung Amerikano. Yung next constitution, parang mainit ang ulo natin sa Marcos administration. Dapat may gumagawin na tayo ng constitution na para sa Pilipino, naintindihan yung ugali natin, at para sa atin, walang galit, walang saya, basta yung tamang-tama pinag-isipan. And let's not rush it. Let's make sure we get it right finally this time. And in the meantime, we have the local government code where it's very, very clear that the split for local and national is 40% and 60%. 40% of all income will go to the local. Why don't we start federalism by making the local governments stronger and giving them more budgets. Right now, local governments, provinces, municipalities, and barangays are only getting 16% effectively. We're not following the law. Simulan muna natin by following what we have now, and not only the BIR, but also include the collections in the customs, in excise tax in tobacco, alcohol, gas, and so on, and the documentary stamp. Lahat yan, isama natin in accordance with the recent Mandanas Supreme Court ruling. Pinaglaban namin ng mga governor yan. Nanalo na. Sabi na ng Supreme Court, nalulugi ang lokal sa national. Why don't we start that in the midst of this heated national debate about federalism? We can start by implementing the present law.
Mandanas ruling, what is the problem, ma'am? Why is it not being followed, the local government code?
Siyempre, sinasabi kasi ng ating national government, marami silang programa na maraming palusot eh. Maraming program, they have to finance the build. Alam natin kulang ng pera. Tama naman yun. But at the same time, chunks of the build are going to be implemented on a local level. So bakit hindi ibigay sa lokal? Mas alam nila, baka mas less corruption pa kasi lahat ng mayor, lahat ng tao nakapitig talaga. Na lahat tumitingin na pinapanood. Baka mas okay pa yan kaysa sa walang katapusan na reblocking, road widening, mga dredging na hindi naman nangyayari. Mas okay yata kung bigay na rin sa lokal yan.
So, lilinawin ko lang po. You are not against federalism.
No, I'm completely for it in principle.
Yeah, but sinasabi po ninyo na kailangan i-discuss natin thoroughly at we start, kung gusto talaga natin tulungan yung mga local government unit, let's start implementing the Supreme Court ruling on the Mandanas case.
That's right, and make the local government stronger. We also have the Bangsamoro organic law.
Yeah.
Diba? We have that law also. Why don't we give it a try? Kasi for my family, that's unfinished business. Yung ARMM was negotiated by my mom in Tripoli ages ago. Hindi na nag-move forward. So, okay na. Subukan natin yung Bangsamoro Organic Law at bigyan natin ng pansin itong mga ARMM na talagang they're the poorest provinces naman talaga. And we shouldn't think so hard or be so stingy about that 70 billion that will go to them. After all, there are so many structural issues that have nothing to do with local or ARMM corruption. Yung land holding nila, apakagulo. Pagkatapos yung poverty levels talagang napakahirap tignan. So let's start with those laws that will really help us in the local and provincial level.
Before I ask your parting statement, ma'am, one last point po. Your point, your stand on the extension of martial law in Mindanao for another 1 year.
Alam mo, sa totoo lang, feeling ko, sa akin lang, hindi importante yung tingin natin dito sa Luzon at Visayas. Ang dapat tanungin yung mga taga Mindanao. Sila talaga, kasi they're the ones undergoing it and we don't understand. Ako nga, reklamo sa curfew, tapos hassle ako, hinto sa checkpoint. Pero yung mga kaibigan ko sa Mindanao sabi, hindi, gusto namin ng checkpoint. Pag umalis yan, bago na naman. Sila yung naglalaban talaga. We need to listen to them. They're the ones involved, they're the ones who know what's up. And certainly, we should provide the President with some leeway. Kasi has access naman to all kinds of confidential information na hindi rin natin alam. Talagang kailangan ayusin na rin yan. Pero siguro, kailangan din tawagan natin na we should take to task also our military and ask them, ano ba to? Pa-extend ng pa-extend. Hindi ba yung masosolve? Ang hina naman ng intel. Asa na yung sinasabi na karagdagan human intelligence that was the failure of Marawi. Uulitin ba yan ang uulitin? Siguro naman nag-improve na kayo by now. At ano ba kailangan para matapos yan? That's what we need to ask also.
Your message to the Cebuanos po.
Merry Christmas! Ayan. Siyempre, Merry Christmas. And, I'm very happy to be here. At ang wish para sa Pasko, ano ba yung mga wish? Ang wish ko, siyempre, mas mababa ang presyo. Talagang ayaw natin na tumataas ang pagkain at gasolina at kuryente at tubig. Lahat nagtataasan. Ang wish ko para sa Pasko, walang traffic. Pinakamalala na yata ang traffic sa Cebu. Talaga naman, hindi gumagalaw. Kaya wish ko, sana kahit papano, ewan ko kung anong milagro na mabawasan ng traffic. Wish ko, kumain tayo ng maraming lechon at hindi tayo tataba. Pwede ba yun? Pero lahat ng wish sana ng mga pamilya ninyo ay maitupad. Sana lahat ng wish natin mahanapan ng solusyon. At tunay na caring-carry ang 2019. Happy New Year din sa inyo lahat.
Thank you very much, Ilocos Norte Governor Imee Marcos. Join us again in another conversation. This is Fred Langido. Good afternoon.
Thank you. Okay lang.